Oh, praise the Lord, you're back. It's been a long 3 months. Well, technically almost 3 months, but eh. Oh, hey everyone, Joe here from ActionX. Welcome to What's on the Tube, or welcome back if this is your finally 11th episode review of The Rookie Season 2. I am so flipping excited because you have no idea how long I've been waiting for that show to come back. You don't understand. And I apologize for my hair. My hair is a little bit weak today. I need a haircut. I really do need a haircut. I need to lose some weight around here. Don't know why the cheeks are popping up again. But anyway, oh my God, it's been a long 3 months. I've missed doing this show. I miss talking about Rookie. It's been a very long time. And I understand having 20 episodes in a 38-week period to air them. I understand there were going to be long gaps in between episodes. I understand that. But the way they ended off the last episode with the cliffhanger, knowing in my heart things were going to be different no matter what when we came out of this episode. And I was right. Again, this episode is probably one of the, if not the best episode The Rookie has ever produced. And I say that almost every single episode. But I seriously mean this one. Like, the Rookie's always driven itself on its comedy and also blending in dramatic scenes whenever it feels necessary. But it's most of the time, like, it's for laughs and such. And they still are charming enough to still craft a story whenever they need to. The last episode of this one definitely felt like a two-parter, and it definitely took the place into a very dramatic direction. And it thrived on that, where if The Rookie was to just be your typical cop drama show, it would still succeed. Now, would every episode be like this one? Probably not. I mean, eventually the magic's lost. And that's the beauty of The Rookie, is that it manages to swap perfectly in between the two genres, and they managed to create actual stakes for the show. It actually did. And for a while there, I was noticing, like, now here's the thing. Let's jump the bullshit here. By the way, there are going to be major spoilers throughout this entire, when we get to the recap and now. So if you haven't watched the episode, please walk away and come back later. I knew in my heart Lucy wasn't going to die. I kind of knew. Like, the thing is that when it comes to major character deaths, you never really advertise them in a way. You really, like, just keep things like, it just happens whenever, it happens, unless it's like a cast member announces they're leaving, so you kind of assume it's either they're leaving the area of the show in world, or they're just being written off by either a death or something like that. I knew in my heart they weren't going to write off Lucy Chen. I knew that. Because of the whole Bishop thing when we started the whole season, getting Harper into the show, I personally didn't. I knew in my heart they weren't going to immediately cause another status quo. I mean, they could have, and it would have been such a shocking moment. And no matter what, like I said before in the last episode review, no matter how this episode was going to end, it was going to change everything going forward. And now, looking at the preview for the second half of this season, we're definitely exploring that new world. Where it's like, yes, Lucy is alive, but she's not going to be the same Lucy. Like, again, I know the ending of this episode very much implied that she's still the same core, but someone who goes for a traumatic near-death experience like that definitely is not going to be the same person when they come over. And I'm very curious to see what this new Lucy Chen is going to be like as we explore the remaining of Season 2. But now, with that being said, let's get to the butchered recap. And I'm going to try my very damn best to be as accurate as possible, because this episode was so damn great and deserves it deserves to be at my pure peak. So anyway, let's get down to it. So we get a brief recap of what happened in the last episode. Obviously, with it being 2.5 months removed when we last saw The Rookie. Let's be honest, I didn't rewatch any episodes leading up to this. I literally forgot The Rookie was coming back to like a few days before when Nathan Fillion was starting to post about it. So picking back up, we immediately see... I already forgot how the episode started. No, we see... Then we get the recap. Yeah, very powerful of me. I make this dramatic moment where it's like, I'm going to be 100% with this recap, and I immediately forgot how the episode began. But to be fair, the rest of the episode entirely was just, it kept moving so quickly, and it felt so long, but it was so great that they just kept the tension going throughout the whole ride. But I think we begin with so we begin. Lucy is waking up from her being drugged by Caleb, and she wakes up in his apartment, or she wakes up in a house, and he's tattooing her, very painfully, and it says DOD, Day of Death. So it does confirm that this episode took place on December 9th, 2019, which makes sense. They weren't going to do a time jump, So this is still 2019, where whether or not the next episode will be... Again, now that I realize the Rookie never really promises itself on being world accurate with timelines, so I'm not really complaining that much. So Lucy's in shock, but she's unable to move, as I think her body's still like waking up from being drugged up, so she's kind of just experiencing this tattooing process as it keeps going. And Caleb is kind of being the cynical, maniacal psychopath that he is, and like just he has a smile for some reason. It's always the ones that smile at creepy moments that are usually the scary ones for some reason. And we cut back to what everyone else is doing, blindly unaware that one of their own's been kidnapped. We see we see Wes preparing coffee for him and Lucy, but she's not in his bedroom, so he assumes like, the date probably went well to the point like one night stand, But however, for everyone else, there was a live broadcast of Rosalind's confession that while she was in prison, she did commit more murders, which obviously is false. We knew Caleb committed those murders in her name, in her motivation. Sorry if I drink tea throughout this episode. My throat's dry. Anyway, so everyone's heading back to the bullpen, and Nolan and Wes are kind of like comparing notes, like, well, what's going on with Lucy? She's late. She's not showing up. They bring Harper to this, and no one knows where she is. They report to Gray, and Gray's like, okay, you know what? This is a little bit precarious since, given how riled up everything's been recently. We don't really know what the state of it, so they're putting out all the manpower to see where is Lucy, because her phone's off, the GPS is off. There hasn't been any communication since she went on the date with Caleb, so everyone's on high alert, especially I keep saying a lot. I'm sorry. Even Bradford, even he's really on the edge, considering the fact that he's her TO, and also inadvertently he kind of pushed for this to happen. Kind of that, if you really think about it, this is kind of his fault. I'm not blaming him, but kind of really is his fault. And then we cut back to Lucy being held hostage by Caleb. It's not looking good. She's tied up in a chair by tape. He's eating breakfast for some reason. Like, he's a pretty chill villain. He's just like sitting around eating breakfast in front of her, trying to prepare her for the inevitable barreling into the ground. She tries to get some water. He gives her a little bit, and then Lucy realizes she can't get out of these restraints. Then also another scene I missed over was Diaz is still taking care of Wesley after the events of the last episode where he nearly killed himself by being OD'd. He doesn't really want her to be around. He doesn't need a babysitter, but she says, "Well, too bad. You're not gonna get rid of me that easily." So she sticks around. That's why she's not initially part of the investigation. Everyone's on high alert, so I think from there we get to... No, this is where Nick comes in? Also, I figured out his last name is Armstrong. I was like, who's Armstrong? It's like, oh, that's Nick. That's his last name. I wasn't paying attention. Like, a lot of things I don't do. I'm trying to remember, how did we connect? I forgot. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This is why it's called the Butcher Recap. I can't be trusted. Everyone's trying to search for her. They're assembling at the bullpen. Everyone's at the bullpen trying to figure out what the hell's going on, trying to find Lucy, trying to survey for surveillance footage, trying to confirm, like, okay, where's the timestamp? A lot of things are showcasing, but nothing else sustainable is really, grabbing them on to find, like, okay, we need to leave, we need to go somewhere, we need to find Caleb and Lucy. So far, nothing. Nick wants to take initiative and he wants to interrogate Rosalind. because Rosalind does have a connection with him and also to Kayla, so she might be the best bet. But Gray shuts him down, saying, "No, you're too close to this. You're not. You're going to be too unfocused. You're not going to stay on task. It's better you stay out of it." Nolan backs up his play, but Gray does support the idea of going to Rosalind. It just can't be Nick, and obviously, because this is the rookie, it's got to be Nolan. He's heading down to the prison. Everyone's staying back in the bullpen. They're trying to find some sort of lead, and Bradford calls in Diaz and Wesley to get some help on the tip line, trying to find some sort of other avenue to potentially search for Lucy. And meanwhile, back at the house, Lucy, so it's time for Kayla to put her in the barrel. Lucy tries to escape. She's too weak, like obviously being malnourished, being drugged up still, not having enough water. She's not 100%. She tries to escape until she realizes that she's not in a neighborhood. She's in the desert. And that's the thing about LA. There's a lot of desert out there. There's a lot of sand. I learned that from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That's the only thing George made me remember from that movie. And the mac and cheese thing. But anyway. Lucy tries to fight up Caleb, but she's too weak, and she gets knocked out pretty easily, gets beat up by him. And back at the bullpen, Diaz and Wesley show up. They kind of take over. Bradford wants to take some air. And then he tells Diaz the reason why he's so riled up more than usual is that he knew that Lucy was going to go home. And he told her, no, after a day like this, it's better you go and be with someone, kind of get your mind off things. Because if you go home, you're just sleeping it off, you really still have this energy in you, so you might as well do it. So Bradford feels totally responsible for all this happening. It's his fault. It kind of is his fault, but okay, whatever. And I think from then, Nolan and Harper heads to the prison. Nolan tries to talk to Rosalind, but Rosalind's still playing coy. She's still I'm in control now. I'm still moving the pieces. I know what I want to know. Nolan's being brash. He's being firm, and he gives her an ultimatum. Listen, I'm going to leave it half an hour, with or without any sort of communication from you, any sort of clue from you. So we're playing the waiting game with Nolan and Harper right now, and I think this is where they discovered that there was. I don't know how they brought up this connection, but they brought up the connection that there was this officer in the prison a couple of years ago that used to assist Rosalind, so maybe he knows something that could lead to Lucy. So I believe they track him down for another informant. They head to the house of this guy. Turns out it's not the guy. It's not Caleb. It's another dude. Apparently Caleb stole this guy's identity to get into the prison, which is where he met Rosalind, which is where where he became pretty much his protege, or as he says, like a 50-50 partner range. Let's be honest. He was never a partner. He was never in consideration for 50%. Maybe 5%, but not 50%. Come on. Do you really think serial killers really give that percentage to partners? Anyway, so we cut back to the desert. Caleb's escorting Lucy on knife point. They get to the barrel. They get to the barrel scene. Lucy smartly takes off her ring, but Caleb doesn't notice. I mean, I knew this was going to be something that's going to come back later. And Caleb gives her a choice, listen, you are going to get in this barrel, otherwise I'm going to shoot you. So either you die now and you get in the barrel, or you go in the barrel, you have a surviving chance to live, and you get buried alive. So you really have these two options. Lucy does the smart thing. She gets in the barrel. He digs her and then he leaves to kind of enact phase 2 of his plan. And I think we cut back to the prison so back at the prison, Nolan and Harper are informed that the lead with the guard didn't really go anywhere. It turns out it was a fake. And so pretty much everything's hinging on Rosalind right now. Everything's hinging on her. And Rosalind does give Nolan some sort of piece of information. I think it was that... What was it? I'm trying to remember what she told him. It was in my head and then I forgot. I forgot what he said. It had something to do with Nick, pretty much. Then we cut to Nick at his the graveyard. Consider the fact that, he can't get on this investigation because of the Rosalind connection. So he goes to visit his wife's grave. And that's where Caleb shows up. Nick smartly pulls out his gun, trying to arrest him. He's like, listen, if you take me in, Lucy will never be able to... She'll die. So Nick does the wise thing, puts out his gun, lets him take it, and they head off back to the ranch. The cops show up. They find out that Nick's been taken, so now Caleb has 2 officers in his possession. everyone's wrong because like there's no more leads. We don't know what to do. And then Wesley figures out that no. West. I got to get it. That's the weird thing. Like, why do they have a main character named Officer West and they have a side character named Wesley? Anyway, so forget about that. So West figures out that hey, there was these charges that Caleb made under the guard's name, so there could be some sort of clue there to maybe figure out some sort of connection. And they find out there's a postal box in his name that he's still paying for, so they deduce like, okay, there's got to be a somewhere nearby so he doesn't have to go back and forth. And then they find out that there is a ranch in Rosslin's family's name nearby the post office, which turns out to be the same ranch, which conveniently we head back to as Nick and Caleb arrive at the ranch. I keep saying I'm sorry. Nick finds a barrel. He assumes Lucy's in there, but it doesn't. Apparently, Caleb, Rosslin's ultimate plan is he wants Nick to see Lucy die, as he never got to see his wife die, since he was so busy in the Rosslin case that he missed his own wife's death. We talked about this in the last episode. So now they get to watch it together. Again, another creepy maniacal thing. Everyone's en route as we get a very chilling scene where we see Lucy, having already escaped her zip ties, kind of figuring out that there's hope is slimming down every passing minute. She sings this nighttime lullaby in a very downward vocal tone that sets up the scene that, okay, we're at the boiling point. Everyone is converging on the house where Lucy's nearby. We're hitting that point. It's like anything can happen now. Nolan and Harper arrive at the site first. They find Nick being held captive. They strategically place himself around the house. Nolan breaks in. Caleb's about to shoot Nolan, and then Harper shoots him in the chest, unaware that he knows where Lucy's buried. So they try to save him. We get a cameo from Nolan's. I guess I don't know if they're boyfriend or girlfriend. I really don't know. But let's just say they're still friends. She tries to help him, try to save him. It's too late. Caleb dies from the bullet shot. Everyone else arrives. So now everyone's on. We gotta look for Lucy. We're running out of time, and I was really concerned. Like, well, not concerned, but I was always curious. Like, who was gonna be the one to save Lucy? Was it gonna be Radford? Was it gonna be Nolan? Was it gonna be Wes? Because every character, like in those core three, had a majority reason to save her, and thankfully, I think wisely put, it had to be Bradford. It had to be Bradford to save her because he put her in that situation in Burnley. He has to be the one to save her, and he does. He finds the ring. They all dig up the site. They find Lucy she was like pretty much dead by that point. Bradford does. And the way they shot the scene, the way they scored that scene was just so powerful. Where it's like for moments, it's like it's possible that she could be dead. It's possible. And thankfully, at the last minute, they get her. They resuscitate her. She's alive. Everything's all good. And not everything. She's crying like, oh my God, I survived this, but she's emotionally distraught as everyone breathes a sigh of relief that Lucy is still alive, because that's the most important thing of the day. Oh man, I've been talking too long. My tea went warm. Oh well. What to do? So then we come back to the hospital. Bradford is reading a teen magazine for some reason. Like, does Lucy even read teen magazines? Come on. That's what US Weekly's from. Not a teen magazine. BTS. Who the fuck is BTS? I'm sorry if you're a BTS fan. I have a history with that band. I'm not going to get into it right now. Anyway, so everyone, conveniently just the males show up. Nolan and Wes show up, bearing gifts. And the real takeaway Lucy has from this entire experience is like, I am never going on a date again. It's like, wisely so, Lucy, wisely so. So, thankfully, that was the takeaway there. Everyone's kind of happy that she's still alive. And I think the last scene, we get to see Nick go to Gray, talk to him, that, hey, listen, after all this, thank you for having my back, which I guess was weird considering the fact the last time we saw these two, Gray was kind of sending him away. But okay, whatever. Gray invites him to his house for some barbecue and a Lakers game, which is something I'm pretty sure Sal would enjoy. But anyway, Wesley, taking from this experience, helping saving Lucy, gets him reinvigorated that law. I'm not okay, but I need help. I'm gonna go back to work, go to therapy, and get myself back to normal. Which thankfully was the right decision he could have made. The last scene definitely hints at some trouble in the future, where we see Nolan heading back to the prison, telling Rosalind, "Hey, listen, your master plan failed. You lost. Caleb's dead. Lucy's saved. Nick's still alive. You fail." But Rosalind's still like, "Oh, whatever. It's just one failed plan. I still got secret. I still got things." But unknowingly, she figured out that Caleb had notes. He wrote out every single piece of information that Rosalind told him. So they know all the bodies. They know all the secrets. She has nothing. And then in typical villain fashion, "Wait, I have one more secret. And she said, "It involves Nick, and you should know about it." It's like, "Nah, not really. I don't trust you. No one trusts you. You're done." And then Rosalind's like, "Oh, you will. You'll come back to me." And that's kind of where we end the episode off very sinisterly. Yeah, so that was the end of that episode. God, was the way worth it. That was such a great episode. Yeah, overall, I really love this episode. I think it is still, and I say this every episode review, this is probably the best episode the Rookies ever produced. Will they ever top this? I really don't know. We'll find out next week if they're able to top it again. But no, this was a very well shot episode. This is something for me personally. Like if I had a vote to say, if I was that of a professional, I would probably say, bullishly say, this should be nominated for the Emmys. I feel like the acting done in this episode was some of the best that these actors have performed in these 2 seasons so far. I feel like everyone had a role to play. Everyone had something to do, and it's going to definitely have rifts as we explore the next 9 episodes of the season. So we'll see what happens then. And that was it. And overall, I would love to give this 3 thumbs up, but I only got 2 thumbs up. So sorry for that. It's 3 thumbs up for now. Figuratively 3 thumbs up, physically 2 thumbs up. And that was it. Oh my God, I love talking about this thing. Eventually, I'll get the names back in my mind. It's been a while. But anyway, so yeah, so that was it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was What's on the Tube. If you want to know what else is coming up on What's on the Tube overall on the spectrum, this Wednesday, Nancy Drew comes back from its little break. So we'll get Nancy Drew back on Thursday nights for their episode review. Then on Saturday, Katie Clean episode reviews. Even though the show airs on Thursday, we post our episode reviews hopefully by Saturday. Hopefully, it depends how busy I am. And I think this is going to be another one of those weeks where it's like, well, on Thursday I want to see the episode, hopefully, and then come Friday, I'm going to hope to God I can record that episode review quickly because I got to go see My Hero Heroes Rising that night with George. So hopefully that'll give me enough time, but we'll see what happens. And then I think from there, so that's going to be kind of like the normal schedule for now. So we're going to have Rookie on Mondays, Nancy Drew on Thursdays, Katie Clean on Saturdays. I'm so happy. I'm finally happy the core 3 are back. We're doing 3 shows at the same time. Now, this won't include one-off reviews, but I'll let you guys know when those are coming up. Nothing anytime in the immediate future. And that's going to do it for me. So thank you guys so much for watching again. This was What's on the Tube from ActionX. If you want to see more What's on the Tube, please subscribe to the channel. Please ring the bell for notifications when we have a brand new episode live. Follow us on all the social media feeds. Like, favorite, share this episode review if you please. And for the Rookie Nation, if you're just Rookie fans, I'll see you guys next Monday for the next episode review. It feels so good to say that again. Oh my God, my hair is a mess. I'm going to end it off here, guys. Peace out.